Please give this content a thumbs up by hitting the like button. And subscribe to the channel to get notification of further content regarding GCC past examinations questions and solutions. Questions and Solutions, the Act. June 2012 Examination. Question 1. 1.1. Definitions. Define the following terms as given in the Occupational Health and Safety Act. Health and Safety Representative means a person designated in terms of Section 17, 1. Inspector means a person designated under Section 28. Regulation means a regulation made under Section 43. User means a person who uses a plant or machinery for his benefit, or person who have control over the use of such plant or equipment, does not includes employees. 1.2. In terms of Section 7 of the Act, the Chief Inspector may direct any category of employers by notice in the Government Gazette, to prepare a written policy concerning the protection of the health and safety of his or her employees at work. The Chief Inspector has published such a notice on September 2, 2005 under Government Notice No. R 859, in which specified guidelines were given. In the schedule to the notice, the Chief Inspector identified, inter alia, employers in the following categories: electric cable manufacturing, safety razor blade manufacturing, chain manufacturing as a separate business, solder manufacturing, panel beating and spray painting as a separate business. 1.2.1. What guidelines did the Chief Inspector give in the notice with regards to the contents of the health and safety policy? Solution. OSAS 18001 Specifications and OSAS 18002 Guidelines for implementation of OSAS 18001. 1.2.2. Name 2 categories of industries directed in the notice other than those mentioned above. Solution. 1. Iron and steel. 2. Foundry products manufacturing. 3. Automotive paint body shop. 1.2.3. Once an employer has prepared the written policy, what must he or she do with the document and where must a copy thereof be displayed? Solution. Prominently display a copy of the policy document signed by CEO at place of work. Question 2. 2.1. Subsection 8, 1. Is a general requirement of an employer to provide and maintain, as far as is reasonably practicable, a working environment that is safe and without risk to the health of his or her employees. Subsection 8, 2. Determines that, without derogating from the generality of the employer's duties under subsection 1, the matters to which those duties refer include in particular a number of functions. Name 3 of these functions. Solution. Provide work systems/methods, plant, and equipment that is as far as reasonable practicable are safe and without risk to health. Eliminate and mitigate as far as reasonable practicable potential hazards that pose a risk to health before resorting to PPE. Ensure safe and risk-free conditions in connection with production, manufacture, transportation, storage, handling for concerned articles. 2.2. Every employer has a duty to make every employee conversant with the hazards to his or her health and safety while at work, and also to inform health and safety representatives beforehand of specific aspects whereby inspectors of the Department of Labor are involved. Name these aspects. Solution. The aspects includes investigations, inspections, formal inquiries, and occurrence of incidents in the workplace. 2.3, Section 20, 1, b, c, and 2, describe 2 functions which a Health and Safety Committee has to perform other than the requirement that the committee has to hold a meeting once in 3 months. Solution. 1. A Health and Safety Committee shall discuss any incident at the workplace or section thereof in which or in consequence of which any person was injured, became ill or died, and may in writing report on the incident to an inspector. 2. A Health and Safety Committee shall keep record of each recommendation made to an employer in terms of subsection 1a, and of any report made to an inspector in terms of subsection 1b. 3.1. An inspector may perform a large number of functions for the purpose of administering the Act. Name 5 functions an inspector may perform. Solution. 1. Enter any premises used by employer to perform work without any prior notice. 2. Question any person who is on such premises used by employer on any matters related to the Act. 3. Require for a person who is in control of the book or document or records to produce to him such a book or document or records for his examination. 4. Conduct inspection of machinery, substance, or articles on the premises. 5. Direct the employer or employee to appear before him for questioning on matters related to the Act. November 2012 examinations. Question 1. Define the following terms as given in the Act. Incident means an incident as contemplated in Section 24, 1. Listed work means any work declared to be listed work under Section 11. Safe means free from any hazards. Occupational health includes occupational hygiene, occupational medicine, and biological monitoring. 1.2. What are your duties as an employer to persons other than persons in your employment? Solution. The employer shall ensure as far as reasonable practicable that such persons are not exposed to hazards to their health and safety. 1.3. Section 10 of the Act prescribes certain duties regarding the manufacture, import, sale, or supply of articles and substances to be used at work. You are manufacturing intrinsically safe electrical components for machinery to be used in explosive atmospheres. What must you do to protect your company from being held responsible for machinery where some of your components are installed in the machinery but the machinery does not comply with safety regulations? Solution. 1. Inform the supplier of the machinery of the non-compliance. 2. Request a written undertaking from supplier that all necessary steps are taken as far as reasonable practicable that such an article will comply with prescribed requirements and that it will be without risk to health when properly used. Question 2. 2.1. An inspector has notified you that, on a specific date, she will conduct a formal inquiry into an incident which occurred at your factory. She also instructed you to ensure that the persons, who have an interest in the issue of this inquiry, must attend the inquiry where they may put questions to witnesses. Name 4 persons who may have an interest in the issue of the inquiry. Solution. Trade union. Employer. Health and safety rep. Concerned employee involved in the incident. 2.2. You have designed a machine for a new manufacturing process but you cannot comply with a specific requirement of a certain regulation. You intend to apply to the Chief Inspector for an exemption of this requirement in terms of Section 40 of the Act. What must you do? Solution. The machinery may not be used prior to the date which an application for an exemption to the Minister is submitted as per provision in Section 40, 2. 2.3. When shall an exemption which has been granted by the Minister lapse? Solution. When an exemption certificate is withdrawn. At termination of the exemption period. 2.4. The Act charges the Chief Executive Officer, CEO, with certain duties. 2.4.1. What are these duties imposed on the CEO and to whom may he assign such duties? Solution. The CEO shall ensure duties of his employer as contemplated in the Act are properly discharged. The CEO may assign the above duties to any person under his control. 2.4.2. Under what conditions may the CEO assign these duties to other persons? Solution. Subject to the control and direction of the CEO. 2.5. A health and safety representative shall be entitled to participate in certain activities and must perform certain functions in respect of the area of his designation at work. State 4 activities a health and safety representative is entitled to participate in. Solution. Identify potential hazards and potential major incidents in the workplace. Review the effectiveness of health and safety measures. Examine the causes of incidents in the workplace. Investigate complaints by any employee relating to health and safety matters at work. 2.6. What deductions may you not make from an employee's remuneration? Anything which requires an employer to provide in terms of the Act is prohibited from being deducted from any employee. The end of questions and recommended solutions for legal knowledge exams year 2012. Thank you.